Everybody, we are back with another pickup video, and today we are checking out the Neo Geo Mini, brought to you by SNK on their 40th anniversary. So without further ado, let's hop right into this unboxing / review. So we got the classic version here. I know they have some holiday varieties, but we got the classic variety here of the Neo Geo Mini. We also have the add-on. I have two add-ons. I have the black controller here, and then I also have the white one. I just wanted to see if they're basically the same, just the colors, the only thing that's different. And I also have the HDMI cable for this particular console, and I'll show you why you need the specific HDMI cable in just a little bit. So let's put those aside for now, and I also have a little hack I'll show you towards the end, which is going to be something that might help you out a little bit as well. So this is the 40th anniversary, I guess, of Neo Geo and their games. So there you go. There's the little console right there, which we're going to see in a second. The legacy lives on. I know there's a lot of other reviews out there as well, but a lot of them are just the console itself, and I think they leave a lot of the accessories out and a lot of the other things that come along with it. So we're going to kind of tear into that as well. So here you got the 40 game lineup right there. You got the whole Metal Slug series, King of the Monsters, a lot of fighting games, a lot of King of the Fighters, just tons of fighting games. If you like Neo Geo, then you definitely would appreciate at least the games that they chose to put on this, particularly for you. I like the Top Players Golf, personally. I mean, they got all other kinds of sports games on here. Shooters, you name it, it's on here. If it was popular on the system, it was definitely included in on this. So they did a good job with this one. I do like it. A lot of people had mixed reviews on it, but I particularly liked it. So first thing right off the bat is, since this was the first thing that I bought, was a controller for this, because I didn't want to have to play on the console. You'll see in a second, it's a little bit cramped if you have hands at all. I mean, unless you're a small child, you could play on the console, but if you actually have hands, you're probably going to need a controller. And I always recommend getting a second controller, just because, you know, a lot of fighting games, a lot of two-player experiences on here, and you're going to want to have the ability for both of you to have a controller versus one person playing on the console and one person using the controller. So, and let's see what else we got down here. We do got a power brick, which I added. They don't give you a power brick with this particular console. It's just the console, the cord, and that's it. I added just a power brick for it so that, you know, you have the ability to plug this into the wall. You don't have to power it up. But I also have one of these power charging bricks, which I'm going to show you in a second, which will actually power the unit, so you don't have to plug it in the wall at all. And it kind of makes it like a portable system. You can bring it with you on the go, and you got a power source for it. So we'll get into that in a second, though. So let's check out what else we got in the box here. We got the instruction booklet, Neo Mini. There we go. We got the console itself, and then we got the little box with some accessories in here. And let's check out what's in the box. So this is the USB cord, or USB-C cord, I should say, that they include with the console, which is what basically powers the console. And then you did get you got a couple of these stickers, which you could put on the console, different varieties. I believe there's should be 3. I put 1 on there already, or no, maybe there's this one. Yeah, okay, so it was 2. And oh, the third one was the round sticker. That's right. So when I did first get this, you get this little round sticker with the SNK and the round sticker, and I slapped it on the back there. But these are actually painted on the side, these Neo Geo. But this is basically the other one that is included as well. You could choose either one of those to put on there, or you could put nothing on there. You don't have to put anything on there. But you got the console screen right there, which is cool. And then you got all the buttons right here, which, as you can see, it's a little bit cramped. It's a bit cramped right there. So, yeah, I personally didn't like it. It's nice for a little portable console, but as it stands up, I don't know if it's something I'd want to be playing on the regular. So here we go. We got the power button back here, and then you got HDMI, and then you got headphones, and then here's your USB-C. On the side, you have USB-C again, but this is going to be your controller ports. And there's one on either side, which is great. It even says second player right there, so I guess you can't get confused. And what's great about the controllers that they actually branded, which I'll show you here. Oops, took this off the wrong way. the controller itself has the USB as a elbow joint, which is great because it plugs right in there on the side, and it fits nice and slim right along the side of the console, which is nice, especially when you got two of those plugged in there. When you have this plugged into the TV through the HDMI port and you have the two controllers coming out, it actually looks pretty clean. It doesn't look too sloppy. But the controller cord itself has Neo Geo branded right there on there. You can see that. That's pretty cool. And it's a pretty long cord, pretty decent. I'd probably say it's about 8 foot. What do they have on the actual box itself? Doesn't actually tell you how long the cord is. But I'd say it's about 8 foot, which is pretty decent for you to reach any distance in any living area where you're going to need to see the distance that the cord's basically. The length of the cord is going to be the distance you're going to need to see anyway. So I do like the feel of the controller. The controller is pretty nice. It's nice and slim. It's a very slim, flat controller. Reminds me kind of like an old Genesis controller, but not as fat. Theirs are a little more bulky. This was a little more flat. So more so like the turbo controllers or the 6-button ones that they released that were a little bit more flat. Kind of reminds me of that. And I do like the joystick on this. I did play this console. We're going to turn it on here in a second and power it up and show you some of the games, but I did play it on this, and I did like the feel of the controller versus the joystick, so that was definitely a plus. And then let's check out, so since I already opened up the white one, I saved the black controller for the unboxing. Now, I did check this out because I wanted to check it out. I had to wait for the HDMI cord to come over from Japan, so that's what took the longest to get that over here, which was this, and I'll show you that in a second. You got the instruction manual, and then there's the black controller, and that has the elbow as well on the USB-C port, which is great. Yeah, great controller, pretty sweet. So you got the white controller or the black controller to choose from. Or you can just play with the console itself as is. But when you hook it up to the actual TV, so if you play it as a tabletop unit, you don't have to worry about the HDMI cord. But when you hook it up to the TV, you do need a specific type of HDMI cord for this. It is this one, the one that is included is a mini to regular HDMI cord. So this is the mini HDMI cord, or yeah, mini HDMI connector, and then this is the regular one. And the only way you could get around this, if you just have an HDMI cord, you could just buy a little mini HDMI to HDMI adapter for it, but it simply just plugs right in the back there like that, and then this end would plug into your TV right here. So, but yeah, it's without having the adapter, you pretty much just need to get the cord, which is branded. It's got the Neo Geo on it, on both sides of the length of the cord. So if you don't want the adapter, you can get the USB cord or the HDMI cord from Japan, which is where I got it from. Other than that, you're not gonna, I don't think GameStop has this sitting around. The GameStop that is in my neighborhood didn't have even the controllers. They just had the console itself, and they were selling it for like $120. I think I grabbed this one for like $92 shipped, and then the controllers were a little pricey. The controllers were like $20 each, and the HDMI cord was like $20 each. So it was like an extra $60, so they were around $150 to get involved with this whole thing. The battery pack that I'm using for this is actually something I use for the Switch, so, but it'll power this too, so we're going to use that for this. Actually, let's turn it on now. So I got, should have full power on there. So I got full power on there at 100%, and we're going to power up the mini console. Let's take the power cord here, and we'll plug the USB-C end into the back here. And the power cord even has Neo Geo branding on it as well, so that's pretty cool. A lot of the clone console, or the classic console I should say, that came out that weren't Nintendo basically had a lot of generic parts in it, which were unfortunate to have that. So and there we go, the unit is powering on, as you can see right there. So we got the screen on it is pretty sweet. It's actually a pretty nice LCD screen. It has the games right there. It's a pretty nice interface. Scrolling through them, it does have some sound as you scroll through them. But the scenery itself around the background has definitely got a nice classic feel to it. Reminded me of Nintendo Classic Edition a little bit. So let's try Blazing Star, and I'm gonna try it with the controller here. Well, you know, first off, we'll try it with the joystick itself, and we'll see how it actually plays. So a lot of these games also like utilize one button, or like one button does all the buttons pretty much do the same command. Press this there button. Just do normal. So like the throw on this, like to go all the way up like that, you actually really have to get close up to the screen. Same thing for down, but there's no screen there to like kind of hold you. The control's pretty good on the joystick. It's a bit loose. Like you have to go really far to make movement versus something that's a little bit more responsive. Buttons are pretty responsive too. They're not loose at all. They're pretty good. Yeah, so pretty cool. Blazing Star it's not unmanageable, I guess you could say, to play this without the controller, but it is something that I think playing with the controller, it makes it a little more enjoyable experience. Mainly because the throw on the joystick isn't as far as it is when you're playing on the console like this itself. But, so, and I believe there we go. So you can basically exit without having to restart it by doing that. But let's try a different one. Try Last Resort, but we'll use the controller this time. And try that out. So right now this whole thing is being powered off of this one battery. I'm still at 100% on the battery, so you can see that the draw on it isn't that much just to power this small little classic console. Alright, so we're in just another shooter. Another total, yeah, it's, so I do like the thumb control on this a little better because it's easier to manipulate your thumb, as you can see, versus the throw before when I was doing it earlier was a little bit more difficult. So one thing that would be cool on this would be some kind of a turbo button. That would be neat to have the option to have a turbo button, but it is nice to have, I mean, I guess the old arcade ability of just button mashing, but having a turbo option on the controller would be cool, especially since the controller isn't something that's standard on, that comes with this. It's something that's after the thought, I guess you could say. It's something that's added to it for more nostalgia feel. But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think they should add a turbo feature to this. But other than that, the fact that they didn't include a brick was kind of a bummer, I think. That's something that I guess is, they assume that everyone has one, but eventually if nobody includes them, no one's going to have any bricks. So let's try. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you don't have to go to the options. I thought you had to go in the main menu or something to switch it over. I guess you could play either one, which I guess is like a way that you can have two people playing. So you could have somebody sitting here playing on the console itself while one person has a controller, if you only want to buy one controller. It's like you're occasionally going to have a second player playing with you. But I do, even though I did probably get farther with the arcade console versus using the controller, I got a little farther in the game itself, but I do like the fact that this doesn't, my fingers don't hit the screen when I go all the way up on the screen. I like that. It does have a nice little LED illuminated blue ring around the bezel of the joystick, which is pretty cool. It's nice that it illuminates that at night. It gives a little bit of an arcade feel, having some, you know, LEDs there. But at the end of the day, I definitely think the console itself it's worth it. I think they put the quality into it for the price that they're asking for the console itself. Around $100 is probably the price point that you're going to be looking at getting into if you're going to pick up this particular little mini console. And I mean, there are a lot of accessories that you could be adding to this little console for you to have a little bit more, you know, enjoyable experience. The one thing that it doesn't come with, again, is the HDMI cord itself. It doesn't come with the brick, so it just comes with the power cord, the USB-C cord, USB to USB-C cord, and then the console itself. Everything else you see here, I added. So the brick, the HDMI cord, or if you need to get an HDMI cord and an adapter if you don't have the HDMI to mini HDMI cord available. The controllers, those are all add-ons again. So it didn't come with a lot of stuff, but I imagine if you offered all of this stuff together in one bundle for customers, that would be a selling point, I think, personally. You charge $150, charge $120, whatever it be, but put everything together. 2 controllers, the mini HDMI cord, you know, saying get the power cord, give us a power brick. You know, we don't need the power battery, obviously. That's something that's you know, you don't need that, but put everything that you need to play the console to its fullest capacity together in a bundle for people. You should always have that option for customers, and I think that's something that this particular release lacked. The fact that I had to get like the HDMI cord from Japan, you know, 1 controller from Amazon, 1 controller off eBay, because they weren't available on both platforms, or, you know, people weren't selling them because they're mainly overseas. The fact that that was even a thing shouldn't have probably happened in the first place. But other than that, the ports are pretty great. I mean, to be honest with you, it's another classic console with all those renditions put on there. I mean, you could get the same result with a Raspberry Pi, but it's the nostalgia of having a nice little classic, you know, arcade console that has its own built-in speakers. It's got everything built in, you know, right there, ready for you to put on your table. It is a nice little tabletop piece that you can hop in and play some new, you know, Neo Geo mini games on, you know, HDMI. That's pretty nice too. So anyway, if you guys checked out the Neo Geo Mini and you guys agree with the things I was talking about with not having a lot of the stuff included, or having to separately piece together this thing, if you had to do that, let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, subscribe for more. I do pick up videos every single Thursday, so be on the lookout for that, and have a great rest of your day.